Hi there, and welcome to this guidance video which will show you how to use the TIFE calculation tool for Pathway 1. Just to summarise, the calculation tool has been created by TIFE to help applicants develop and plan their Pathway 1 projects, and it ultimately calculates the amount of grant that applicants are requesting as part of their project. It provides a clear budget summary based on the information that's been entered, and it allows applicants, the TIFE Executive Board and independent grant assessors to review the viability of proposed activities. As part of this session, we'll run through a few examples of common scenarios and mobility types that applicants may need to enter on the tool. But before we do that, just a few important points to note. So the grant calculation tool has been created within Excel to ensure it's accessible to most applicants. If there is a reason that you are unable to access Excel, then please do let us know by getting in touch via email. The Excel document has been formulated to include all of the relevant grant rates for your sector, and the formula for this sits within locked cells, which you'll see in grey. It is important that these cells are not unlocked or edited, as this may void your application. Therefore, on any tab you're looking to complete, you'll need to enter information in the white cells, which will then automatically populate the relevant grey cells, as I'll demonstrate a bit later. Just finally, the version of the calculation tool you can see on this video is the master copy. When you come to download the relevant tool for your sector, it will look slightly different, as it will only include tabs and grant rates relevant to your sector. So do bear this in mind when referring to this video. Okay, so the first tab we will look at in this video is called Information. As the name suggests, this tab is here to provide you with information on how to use the calculation tool. As mentioned, each sector has its own unique calculation tool, so it is important that your first step is to check that the relevant sector is displayed within the orange box. This will ensure the appropriate grant rates are used for your sector, and you will only have access to the tabs which correspond to the eligible activities for your sector. Below the sector itself, there are some important points that you should read before using the tool, as these will help you avoid any common errors, as well as give other useful information on areas like travel days. The next tab to show you is called the budget summary. As mentioned before, any fields in grey are automatically populated, so this tab is fully automated based on the information that you enter in the other tabs within the spreadsheet. So this tab will be really important to check and review once you've entered all of your mobility information. So I'll now show you how to use the calculation tool, firstly looking at a school's project. Within this example, this school is looking to send 18 16-year-old learners to Spain for 2 weeks with 3 accompanying adults. There'll be a return visit of 6 16-year-olds and 1 adult from Spain for 1 week. As the partnership is new, 1 teacher is being sent to undertake a preparatory visit for 3 days ahead of the group mobility. As this is a group mobility, we'll need to look at the group mobilities tab, so I'll click on that here. So the first column asks for the estimated number of learner participants, so in this box we put 18. Column B asks for the estimated percentage share of students from disadvantaged backgrounds, but as this is a school's mobility, you won't actually be asked for this information when you come to download your spreadsheet. So I'll just enter 0 for now. But just to say, a definition for disadvantaged participants can be found within the Core and Pathway 1 guides in the glossary. So the next column is where we'll enter our 3 accompanying adults for the trip. It is important to note that group mobilities require accompanying adults to be eligible. So for example, if you added in your learners in the column A, as I have here, but you left the accompanying adults at 0 or don't enter anything, you'll get a red box, as you can see. So this box is here to show that there has been an error, and in this case that's non-compliance with the rule that there must be at least 1 accompanying person with a group mobility. So in that case I will add my 3 participants here. So column E then provides the estimated total number of participants, both learners and accompanying persons, as you can see here. In column F, we then need to add in the duration of the visit. So in this case, participants will look to fly out on a Sunday, and we'll visit the partner school on the following Monday to Friday in the first and the second week. You're allowed to include one travel day each way as part of the mobility. So in this case, I will input 14 days into this column. Column J then asks for the receiving country or territory. Please select that from the drop-down box. So as I mentioned, they're going to Spain. So just to mention, different countries do fall under different group categories, and therefore they have different grant rates attached to them. So for details on the groups and their category for cost of living, please see the core programme guide. But for details on the travel rates by distance, please see the relevant Pathway 1 programme guide for your sector. So as I said, I've selected Spain here, and the calculation tool, as you can see, it's automatically telling me that Spain is a Group 2 country, and also it tells me which distance band it belongs to, as you can see over there. So I've scrolled across the document, and we can see that the information that we've input has updated the relevant grey fields to calculate the total outward mobility travel grant for both learner participants and accompanying persons too, as you can see. So we then need to add in the preparatory visit for the teacher to meet with a new partner school, which will take place over a 3-day period. So we'll go over to the relevant tab. If I scroll to the right, here it is. So in column A, we need to put in the estimated number of staff participants. In this case, that would be 1. They're visiting the school from Monday to Wednesday, but they're flying out Sunday and flying home on the Wednesday night. Therefore, in column B, the duration is 4. So that's 1 day as travel, and 3 days for the placement itself, for the preparatory visit itself rather. So then I need to add in the destination again. As we know, that is Spain. And again, you can see here, the grey cells have now been fully populated with the relevant information. And column U, that shows the total outward mobility travel grant for the preparatory visit. Please note that there can only be 3 preparatory visits per project. So finally, for this example, we need to consider the reciprocal visit. TIFE funding allows for up to 30% of the total amount you've requested for outward mobilities to support inward mobilities. So it is worth noting that for any reciprocal exchanges with equal numbers of participants on each side, the remaining funding not covered by the 30% from TIFE would need to be sought from an alternative source. So I'll click onto that tab now. So that's all the way to the right. So as you can see, this includes information on the grant I'm requesting for outward mobilities in column B, row 5. You then need to input how much additional grant you'd like to request to support the inward mobility. So I'll need to add this as a percentage of the outward mobility grant. As I mentioned earlier, I want to apply for funding to support 6 learners and 1 accompanying person on an inward mobility. So that counts as 30% of the number of outward participants I'm looking to take. So I'll enter that here. So once I enter that, you can see that it updates with the grant amount for the inward mobility participants and the accompanying person as well. So we've now completed all of the relevant mobility tabs for this project. And at this point, we can go back to the budget summary page. And that will show us, as you can see, a breakdown of the grant funding that will be requested for this project. One really important point to note here is that once you've entered everything for your project in terms of the different mobilities, you need to make a note, once you've checked that everything here is correct, make a note of the total budget requested in B25, as you will need to enter that as part of your online application. So in the next scenario, we'll look at a youth sector project, which is looking to send 5 staff members to the United States to attend a 5-day training course. As I mentioned earlier, it's really important to download your calculation tool from the correct sector page on our website. Once downloaded, please check the correct sector is showing on the information tab. So as you can see, I'm currently on the information tab, and youth is showing. I'm about to do a youth example, so I know that that's going to pull through the right amounts for my sector. So for this mobility, the staff members are attending a training course. So we then need to click on the training course and professional development tab to add in the relevant details. So we'll scroll over to find that tab now. There it is. As you may have noticed, the information required does look very similar to the group mobilities tab that we looked at in the previous scenario. So again, just to emphasize the importance of checking that you're on the correct sector and you've got the right calculation tool, as well as making sure that the tabs that you're selecting are the correct ones, just because a lot of them can look quite similar. So as we've done in the previous example, I'll just go ahead and enter the amounts in the white fields. As I mentioned, there are 5 staff members travelling, so I'll put 5 here. For the duration, they're arriving on Sunday. They're attending a 5-day training course, as I said, but they're returning the following Saturday. They can claim for both of the travel days in this case, so I will enter 7 here. I'll then select United States in the drop-down. As you can see, a lot of this information is pulled through now. It's telling us the United States is a Group 1 country. You can see the travel distance band over here. It's also giving us a breakdown of the subsistence available per staff member and in total, as well as the travel grant per participant and the total travel grant as well. And again, it's really important you do this. I'll return to the budget summary, and I can see that everything is pulled through into the grey fields as it should have. And again, really important to do at the end is to make a note of field B25, just to make a note of your total budget requested, as you will need to copy this into your online application form. Okay, I'll now look at examples for some other sectors. So let's have a look at individual outward mobilities. We'll do this for FE and VET, so further education, vocational education and training. And I'm going to enter 20 individual participants who will undertake placements in Germany for 6 months. So I'll head over to the individual mobilities tab. I'm entering 20 individual participants. Again, for this sector, just ignore the disadvantaged column, just because you won't need to enter that when it comes to downloading the spreadsheet for your sector. One point to note here is asking for the number of days. Now, I mentioned 6 months, so it is important to note that as part of TIFE, a month is equal to 28 days. So 28 multiplied by 6 is 168, so I'll enter that here. Let's enter Germany in the receiving country. And again, you can see that the tabs to the right have been updated. We've got the subsistence rates here and the travel grants, as well as the distance band that's populated automatically from the information that we've entered in the white fields. And then similarly, if I go back to the budget summary, that's been updated with all of this new information too. And of course, I need to make a note of this total budget requested here, because I'll need to enter that in my online application form. So this time we're going to look at an adult education example. We've got 10 staff going to Brazil on training placements for 2 weeks. We've also got 5 learners attending a group mobility to France with 1 accompanying adult. I've checked that I've got the right calculation tool for my sector by going on information, and I can see AE is showing in field C4. So we'll look at the staff placements first. In this case, we'll need to go to the placements and job shadowing tab. So I just need to scroll over to find that. There we go, teaching placements and job shadowing. Just to note as well, this tab will also be used for a lot of sectors such as higher education, research, So please do ensure that you're selecting the right sector first, as these tabs will look very similar between sectors. So it's just a case of making sure you're downloading the correct calculation tool from the relevant sector page on the website. So I'll enter the number of staff participants. As I mentioned, that's 10. So number of days. So this placement is technically 14 days. They'll all arrive the day before it starts and fly home on the evening of the last day of the placement. So in this case, I'm adding 1 travel day to make 15 days. I'll put in the receiving country, which is Brazil. And again, all of these grey fields over to the right have been updated based on the information that I've entered here. We can see the receiving country group. It's giving us a breakdown of subsistence for the staff and in total, as well as the travel grant as well. And it's also telling us what the travel distance band is. I'll now go over to the learner group mobility. So I'll go to the group mobilities tab. As I mentioned, there are 5 participants. On this visit, all 5 learner participants classify as coming from a disadvantaged background, so that's 100%. So I'll put the estimated percentage as 100, and again that pulls through the number of participants coming from a disadvantaged background. As I mentioned, if it shows up as red in any field, that shows that there's non-compliance with a particular TIFE rule. In this case, as we've seen earlier, you need to enter at least 1 accompanying person with a group of learners. And this box is red because I haven't entered any yet. So if I just enter 1, that now turns white. So this experience is 5 days. The group will leave the day before it starts and leave the day after it finishes. So I'll add 2 travel days in this case to total 7 days. I'll then select the receiving country, which is France. And again, you can see all of the grey fields to the right have updated where relevant. So now I've entered the information I've needed to for this project. So all I need to do is look at the budget summary. Again, everything is pulled through, but you just need to make sure that you check that everything is accurate according to what you've entered. And of course, please make a note of the total budget requested in cell B25. So just finally, we'll have a look at a higher education mobility project. So within this next example, we'll look to send 18 higher education learners to Norway on individual study placements for 2 months. So again, I need to go over to the individual mobilities tab. So the first column asks for the estimated number of learner participants. So in this box, we're putting 18. Now for higher education, you will need to provide an estimated percentage share of learner participants. A definition, as I said, for disadvantaged participants can be found within the core and Pathway 1 guides within the glossary. So for this scenario, we estimate there to be 9 students from disadvantaged backgrounds. So in terms of a percentage of the number of learner participants, that's 50. And as you can see, the number 9 is pulled through here. We then need to add in the duration of the visit. So in this case, the participants are undertaking mobilities for 2 months. As I mentioned, 28 days is a month for TIFE. So that would be 28 times 2, which is 56. They'll be travelling the day before the placements begin, so they've got 1 additional travel day there. They'll be flying home the day after the last day of the placement, so I can add 2 travel days in this case. So 56 add 2 is 58. And then in column H, I'm adding the receiving country. As I mentioned, they're going to Norway. And again, if we scroll across the document, you can see that all of the relevant fields have been updated here. Then as always, I check the budget summary just to review that everything has pulled through as it should. And then I need to make a note of the total budget requested, as that will be going in my online application form. So that's just a brief run through of how you use the Tithe calculation tool, which I hope you found useful. If you have any questions on anything covered in this session, or any general questions about your Tithe application, please do get in touch with us via email. Thank you very much.